can it be? Showing up with Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, be funneling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The bonus team is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the morning steam for Sunday, May the 12th. We get ready for another great day of sports betting here with our preview of the day's betting card in the major sports, including NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball, and more. Stay tuned for the next hour plus, and we'll get you some free picks as well from me and the all-star chat. Hello, everyone. Starting to file in here as we preview the action. I'm watching tennis currently, some soccer certainly here on a Sunday with some select games from Europe. And also we'll have there was UFL yesterday, the biggest game of the season. I don't know if you're interested in that. That was a pretty big event, I thought, but certainly the playoffs took center stage yesterday, and Boston and Cleveland yesterday. Hey, we had a winner in the NBA with Boston. I stuck with Boston for once and stopped listening to those that maybe are just wearing blinders a little bit. So I took the Celtics as a premium, and they look pretty strong here. Still, I am kind of one of those believers that think that maybe when the chips are down, they won't get it done. But right now, kind of crushing a team that may be just a little bit short again right now, almost back to the drawing board for Cleveland. You wonder what their plan of attack would be next. A little bit of action coming in here right now to get us started on the morning's team. Looks like the Cardinals and the Brewers are taking steam to the over. And in all fairness, I was going to give out the over here when we get to that portion of the show. I just want to mention right now, taking a little steam here at 8, going up to 8.5 here with the Cardinals and the Brewers today. I know that's a big game for our gang, so we'll talk baseball. Here we had some winners. I had quite a few winners in Major League Baseball on the premium side yesterday. 4 winners, as a matter of fact, with premiums. I had Braves Mets under. I had the Phillies yesterday as a premium winner. And we also had the A's Mariners over. Somehow we got there, I think. Might have been a push for some, but I'm sure we kind of got there on that. And had another premium winner here. Baltimore Orioles yesterday. And on the ice, how'd it go for everyone with the Rangers? Carolina staying alive. They'll be still hanging around, extend that series a little bit. And Dallas with that 2-1 lead here over Colorado with the impressive performance for the Stars on Saturday. Real big effort from Dallas there. And OKC against Dallas, don't forget over the NBA as well. And we'll preview today's game. Say hello to everyone in the chat with Oh, let's see. We got Brent's here, and he's already ready to go with NBA. He says Timberwolves. Yankees and Rays are taking steam to the over right now. Duly noted. I was going to come in with the under in this one a little later. Maybe we'll check it out and see what's going on. But here's a little over action with Yankees and Rays. Total being steamed right now at 8, and looks like it's going to go here to 8.5 here as we get rolling on Sunday. But that was definitely seeing some action to the over. All right, I'm going to start to say hello to people here with Brent. Basically saying T-Wolves, and he's ready to stand behind it here, it looks like, today with Minnesota. And we'll talk about it maybe a little bit, or we can talk about it now. But there they are. Ziggy stopping by today. Doing a great job, Zig. And our Tom's here to roll early. And Ziggy says his pick will be on the Nuggets. So there you go. You got a little challenge there in the chat to get things rolling. And our Tom's will be on the Wolves. X60 is here. Jeff Schramm in and ready. And doubles as well. So we got the crew, like and smash. Get ready here on the 40,000 subscriber Juggernaut Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Going to give out a bunch of free winners here in just a moment. But first, we're going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see who did well. I know I made it to the leaderboards. Felt like a beat or two we had against us, but still were able to produce some type of profit. But it was Danny Dimes who was on top of the handicapper leaderboards. We'll bring it up here with a 5-0 performance yesterday here on the network. Ron Crawford right there as well. Look at that, 67% heavy volume for Ron. Ron's heavily involved in this soccer card right now, and you can get his picks over at Tony'sPicks.com, ready to go right now in soccer today. You guys want to get the conversation started. We've already seen Lazio defeat Empoli 2-0, and I know we've got the crew with picks in other action here. I don't want to talk about any games that have already started, but coming up, still to come. I know we have cappers that are involved in some games over on the site, including Rayo, I believe, also Bayern Munich game, Roma and Atalanta, Lille and Nantes, Almera and Betis, Arsenal and Man U, just some of the games our handicappers have picks on here today. And there were several more that maybe we can make a pick or two on, or if you guys got some here. I think it's still to come. Top of the hour here, still to come, just underway. West Brom and Southampton here, just getting going. And also, that's in England Championship, but they're playing some big games down there in the big leagues. Darmstadt and Hoffenheim here, bottom of the hour in Germany. And also still to come, Atletico Madrid is hosting Celta Vigo. Also, Leverkusen and Bochum and some other action. A big card in France still to come. Ben Ruhala was 80% on Saturday. Latifa, 70% on Saturday. CJ Sturgeon in there as well. Good percentage there, 64%. There I am, clicking in there with a little bit of profit, a unit and a half. We'll take it. A couple of wins in a row there. Ruben Marlborough. Come to Marlborough country, 67%. Joseph Schultz won his only play. Tim Irwin, 1-0-1. OG Cappers VIP, 2-1. And Daniel Walasachuk, 1-1. But he had a dog in there. As part of my 9 winners, I did sweep the board again in the UFC, including that main event winner in that one. able to roll there with the UFC card, and also I mentioned the four winners in MLB. Ron Crawford for the week on top there, up 15 units here on Sunday. Ruben Marlboro, Pravi Samba Murdy. Get your money's worth with Pravi. There's Danny Dimes and Tim Irwin. Last 30 days, Ruben Marlboro on top, 24 units. Ben Ruhala, 1487. All right. Let's get to talking about today's games. Don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. The way to support me here on this network and this channel is to keep coming back is to subscribe to my picks. Win or lose, people. Quite frankly, I'll give it my best every day, and I think you'll get some great information over there. If you do subscribe to my picks, they're reasonably priced for the amount you probably should be in. This is serious stuff here, and if you're using a tout, you probably want to have some nice, good-sized bets, some excitement, some fun, and you got to cover the costs. But just want to let you know I'm giving out some great picks. So all I do is watch these games, talk to you guys, and try to come up with the best sports picks here on the channel, and I always put my best picks behind the paywall here at Tony'sPicks.com. So use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 20%. I promise you, those are my best. You're going to get my second best right here, right now on the network as we get going, and I want your best picks in the chat. No holding back for you guys, unless you've got your premiums out there too. I know you do. All right. Appreciate it, you guys. There it is. I got a 7-pack up there right now with all my best plays, and then I got that English Premier League game. Just one play in soccer so far. Maybe we can come up with something a little bit later. That France card is going to be pretty wild today. I don't know if I had one, super great play there, and there is one MLS game today. Seattle's at Portland. All right, and see what else everybody's up to here. We'll get rolling with the picks. My picks, your picks. Hopefully you have some good picks. Jeff Schram's coming in here, so let me see what Jeff's got here real quick. He'll give out some soccer. I'll cross it off my list, and then I'll give out a play or two. I think I've had a few winners here in soccer on this here show of late. Where's I've already moved on from that. But I didn't say I was fading the chat necessarily. Okay, he's going with Atletico there. So in their game against Roma, I do like the under in that. I'll take under in Roma. Oh, no, they're against Atalanta. I'm sorry. Atletico is against – I screwed that up yesterday, actually. So apologize for that. They're taking on Celta de Vigo here. So, okay, you go with your pick there. My pick will be Roma and Atalanta under. I know, Atalanta under, you might say. But I've been hitting with Atalanta whatever I do, over or under. So – what else did he have? Arsenal on the money line against Man U. Man U, it's all falling apart. I mean, be careful. I mean, you're Man U. You think you're supposed to win every year, and we're not going back. So be careful, just kicking some guy to the curb. And Leverkusen for Jeff as well against Bochum. I don't know if I had anything too solid there. And he's got Bayern Munich and Wolfsburg over in that one at 2.5, going over at 2.5 goals. All right. Jeff going over. One day we'll streamline this. Okay, I'll give out a few here. Here's Lewis is here. Doubles is here. And if you guys got any soccer, I'm going to take a couple swipes here. Here's Solo today in boxing. First blog. Great to have boxing first vlog here. And don't want to make him have to work here. And Zach Brown here. But if Boxing First Blog wants to comment on the boxing card last night, because it certainly was I'm at a loss for words. Certainly, Lomachenko got a big, an easy victory, if you will, with no Lomachenko. But that decision of the incorrect reading of the scorecards, where it was such a gross misreading, and the way that that relatively well known um, ring announcer who doesn't when he did not do it professionally. If you're going to correct yourself, it almost feels like he got set up or something, like he wasn't doing the math and he might have got told the wrong information. If you've ever, we've seen it before. If you've seen it before with um, the car, you can. I'm not saying I'm privy to it. I've just seen it on Twitter now. I would have never known what these, not the cards, but even on that last one when they had Buffer had the misreading. He showed what his card said, or someone showed it, if you remember that. So, but just bizarre. They got one so wrong with this woman's fight that even the referee, who was instructed, of course, to raise the hand of the winner, was uh, like, okay, but we've obviously messed this up, and they immediately kind of corrected it, but it was just so awkward. But Lomachenko last night, certainly one of the big events of the night. All right, let's see. I think that's it for you guys. Maybe I can come up. I think I've got a play here. That, like I said, that French car is really exciting. So I've got Monaco here to go over. Let's see what that total is. All right. I don't want to keep us waiting here, but these are games still to come, so I know we can still get these off. Monaco and Montpellier is 3.75 over, and that's why it's got to be a pick here on the show, because, man, that's skyrocketed, actually. Probably not a. I want to play some soccer with you guys, and we have Capper's doing great work, but that one really has gone through the roof here. How about Leon? I got maybe one more. Maybe we can calm it down a little bit. That Leon Claremont game. Um, I'm not. I'm gonna skip that. There's some. Okay. Okay. I think that's it for me right now. That's just it. One play for me there. Let's get to the big games tonight. I don't want to spend too much time here. I mean, I do. I want to spend all day with you guys if you'd like. But how about the Knicks and the Pacers? If we get rolling with the coverage here today, get your picks ready. I want to hear what you have to say as we get ready here. The Knicks, uh, look for whatever you want to say about the way things went down in the last game with the Knicks. Uh, and the Pacers, certainly it still was the Knicks that were able to cover the spread, right? Uh, it does feel like the Pacers have to be healthier here. The Knicks, I mean, how long can they push forth and keep doing this right now? Sure, those guys are incredible. They keep, you know, they're insane right now. If it's not Brunson, if it's not Hart, it's DiVincenzo now, but you still have the injured guys and Pacers healthy. Maybe they got the confidence of the win. The Knicks kept coming back, obviously, kept fighting back, and got the money, and that's all that matters. So, I mean, you can play the money line. I'm just talking about that. This is the way we cover it, right? I mean, the Knicks got the money in that last game, but man, I mean, can they really just muster up all that strength and motivation again just to lose the game? And you need to save your energy. It's kind of, I'm watching tennis right now. Okay, you ever they were I was talking last night about uh, Rafa Nadal, right? And his last match there in Rome. And one of Rafa Nadal, they always said, you know what? He's the type of player that when he's down, you know, 4 or 5 to nothing in a set, sometime he doesn't give up, and that some sports it's not always, you can't always go around just trying so hard all the time, and the Knicks are going to have to save their energy. It feels like almost. Now, look, if they get the win here, obviously they're not, they're not talking like that. I'm just trying to think rationally. Uh, you know, they'd be crazy to not think about where they are in their fitness coming into this game and where they stand moving forward. But saw that game kind of get slammed there at the end, right? The games are just stopping for the most part late if they're competitive at all. It's becoming very, very tense in the last 3 or 4 minutes where the possessions are kind of, and they're letting them play. The guys are going up with the shots, and there's deflections and uh, all kinds of complaining. I said that, you know what, from now on, if I ever go around, and I see something in life and I just think is so minorly incredulous that I just don't even know what's, like, what are we doing? I'm just going to be like Luca every time. If I see someone cut in line at the grocery store, I'm just going to go Luca on them. If someone cuts, I don't know where else can we do it, um, all right, let's get your picks. Here they come. In here's the Pacers for Thomas, and Ziggy's got the Pacers, and our Tom's coming in. Nixon under. Thomas Bird is here. Pacers cover role players. Pacers cover. Their role players will step up today, says BFV, and I just feel like, look, also, right, so maybe in game one, talked about the spread kind of inching up, where, yes, Indiana certainly, even with the injury situation, may have been favored, but with the drastic injury situation, it was, going from 5.5 or 6 to 6.5 to 7 to 7, whatever it did. Now it's still hanging back here. I'm pretty sure it's still, um, yeah, 5.5 pretty much everywhere. So there's that too. Dial it back just a little bit. Maybe the Pacers just get there at 5.5. That's where it landed, right? I mean, they just didn't have enough, even though it looked like they got the lead there late and were putting on the finishing touches. It wasn't enough. The spread was too big. Even the Knicks, the quality was there to keep on battling back. Remember, I mean, battling back, but the way it was going there down the stretch was just uh, uh, crazy and wild. The Knicks want to have it back and to do over again to a certain extent. All right. All right, so I'll do it with Thomas here, and I'm going to take Indiana again. I did have, I laid it last time, and I got carried away with the old look at all these injuries. It's still there. It is a real thing, and you have to feel like now, especially on a second game on the road where the Pacers still won, the Knicks exerted all that energy, and you don't have anything to show for it other than a loss and a lot of fatigue here on the road. Um, I'm going to take the Pacers to get it done here again, and we'll see how much offense the Knicks can actually come up with. Yes, these two teams do pace up a little bit, but Knicks might know. Here's Brent, though. He wants the Knicks. And Pacers for Solo. Brent says he's pretty sure the Knicks will just win this game outright here on the road. And that would obviously be a huge, huge game changer in this series if they could do that. Up 2-1 right now with the home court, winning each game so far. So Pacers obviously have some very, they've got into this situation and put themselves into a very good situation here. This franchise. All right, Ziggy's rolling here with the pace. Twisted is here. He likes the Knicks and under. Oh, he's like Knicks and under on a uh, big buy down there for big plus money on that. 60 says, "Give me the over." and our Robert, no, it doesn't look like it. Does not look like it for OG. I think that's part of the whole situation. I think it's pretty much assumed that he's not going to be in the game, and of course, no Mitch Robb either. So Halliburton in, Neesmith in. Just feels like the Pacers have more personnel available, uh, and the Knicks are going to have to find a way here. That's what it just it was just hard to have a team, right, that won 2 games, nice, good games in a big series. And it felt like, where is our momentum? It feels like we don't have any momentum because we've lost these players. Um, we barely got, not barely got it done. One of them was tough, obviously. Okay, that's it. Looks like you guys are done with that one, and I'll just take the Pacers here once again. By the way, I mean, my my way of doing things, my way of handicapping, if you will, would say this is a Knicks spot. But I just can't do it because if the Knicks were, and I'm not saying it because the line would be different too. I'm not saying it like that. Oh, if the Knicks had all their players, I'd take 5.5. Well, they didn't. They'd probably be less, probably be 2.5, 3, whatever. To me, it is the Knicks spot, but I think they need the players to have it be their spot. Up 2-1, full strength, getting 2.5 or 3 or whatever it would be, with the Knicks having those players available, I'd probably go with the Knicks. I probably would go with the Knicks. I'd probably go with the Knicks. And Chad's here, so maybe I can start that over a little bit. But so if the Knicks were healthy, I would be on the Knicks. And at the lower price, I'm not saying it 5.5 with OG and these guys, but the spot to me at 2-1, the the way the Knicks look, this is just an eye test thing, kind of. It's also a market thing, but I would take the Knicks, but not right now, not in this second game. They did an incredible job to get the money in the game, and now you just got to think it's just going to be a little bit too much here. Hopefully, the Knicks can recover and make sure this is a good series and use the home court to their advantage if they are, um, going to be a little bit shorthanded, right? You can at least use that momentum a little bit here, get out of this one. Home team won every game so far, so get back to the 3-game series after this and just take your chances. You have the home court, and it's a great home court. So, okay. So, doesn't seem like we have anything going there. Robert, the Pacers, and yeah, no OG for sure. So my premium's on the total, so I didn't talk about too much, but if if you got it, you got it. And yeah, they're just playing a lot of minutes, right, Thomas? That's what they keep saying. How long can you put these guys out there a little bit? But um, you know, they're doing a great job. Sometimes it's a blessing, right? You think about it. These guys are, they're not young, but they're still pretty young, these Knicks. And a lot of people calling, Brunson a ball hog now a little bit, or a stat stuffer a little bit. I just don't know if the Knicks have other options too. I mean, because Brunson wasn't always that guy, right? When there were other guy, until he needed to be that guy or realized he could be that guy, like we've seen just over the past several months as his game has developed too. Look, I mean, if Dallas knew what they had, they wouldn't have, traded. Wouldn't have traded him. No one, if you don't see it coming, right? No one saw. I mean, maybe there's some guy out there. All right. Thank you, Chad. We'll move on to the next game now. Then it looks like we all got them in. And let's take a look at Denver and Minnesota here in this one. with the Timberwolves leading here. And this one, of course, has been all road teams winning the series so far. Did the Nuggets find the solution to be able to beat the Timberwolves here now? Have they used a championship formula to get past Minnesota here, even though we pretty much, I thought, come to a conclusion that Minnesota had the more depth, maybe even the more talent a little bit, and that maybe it has passed Denver by just a little bit. But they sure summoned up the courage to find that road victory in an impressive fashion and make the Timberwolves look almost silly enough to think that maybe it was a fluke. So we'll see, but I would think that no matter what the case may be, if I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm not going to let the Denver Nuggets lull me to sleep again. I want to put these guys to the test. What are you doing? I would think you want to try to run. Look, I know the Timberwolves are a defensive team, but they've got young players. They've got some good young players, and I want to get the Nuggets out of their. I want to run with. I want to run them. I want to run them, and that's what I'm just some guy. I've never coached a day in my life, but I would think that that's the solution. To get back to what they need, and don't let the Nuggets dictate that. Don't, sure, you got that defense. Let's go for it. I mean, what that happened last game, maybe it was a little bit of reading your press clippings. That happens, right? Looks is here. And all right, Chad's saying the Wolves here, first quarter and full game. Maybe we get it back. And hey, look, this is another one where, in fact, this was even more so. I said last game that maybe the side was the Knicks, and it was maybe, but this one is even more so to me. Maybe one where I kind of want to throw out maybe what I think the market feels about it, because I think the market. I think sharps for the most part. I think winning sharps, if I can clarify them like that, would take Denver here. It's not to say Denver's going to get the win or the money, but let me see here. Here's Ziggy on the Nuggets, but here's the thing: I can't go on. I think Denver could find a way to stay in this game, make it hot, make it competitive, and get a win. But I'm on Minnesota. I have a futures ticket for Minnesota to win the finals. I feel kind of awkward if I were to go against them a little bit here in this spot. I do think they should bounce back. All right, Doubles wants to go over. Joseph is running with the Wolves. And Thomas says, don't fall behind if you're the Timberwolves. Ziggy, you think? Right, brother? A little bit of steam coming in on the Toronto Blue Jays right now. We'll investigate that a little here in a few minutes. But just to note, Blue Jays taking on the Twins today. And taking some steam here at home after that wild game yesterday that saw the big lead, and then the Blue Jays come all the way back. Okay, Thomas says that's just it. That was their one game. It's not going to be a case of the champs have enough solo going under or Tom's on the Wolves. Chad says they still will get their game. So Chad's kind of saying not only will the first three games, but game 4 will be a road team. Game 5 will be a road team. Bizarre that this is what this series has come to, but maybe it will right now. Oh, no, he says home team. Let me correct that. Sorry, chat. You got the home team finally winning one here today, and then Denver coming back at home next game. Okay, sorry about that. But nonetheless, okay, Robert's going to go a nickel on Denver here, it looks like. He really likes them to come through here. That's steam coming in right now in Major League Baseball, and we better get over to hockey here. But Reds and Giants, steam coming in here on the under right now, and this looks pretty interesting. So probably was gonna be looking that way, but I'll just mention it here right now. Cincinnati and San Francisco. It was 8, and it was juiced to the under, but it's going to go down to 7.5 here right now. Steam starting to roll in 7.5 overs all over the place already. I think I might be late to the party here with the Reds and the Giants. Okay, looks like you guys are done with this one here. And I'm on Minnesota. Like I said, my only futures ticket is on Minnesota to win the whole deal, and you know they're not the best of all the teams, but they're one of them now, even with that loss. So I'll stay with them here in this one on a bounce back to get it done. I really think Denver is going to be able to maybe make this very, very close. I would say the higher the score, the better it will be for Minnesota. And the lower the score, then maybe I think that's what Denver is going to be. So I don't know. You guys tell me if I have that. And a lot of people use that to make it look like they know what they're talking about. But I quite frankly think if I'm a gambler, right, yelling at courtside, step up the pace, coach. Talking about how much you're betting, right? I'll be like, I got a couple hundred, got $50. Would you please, push the ball? Okay, here, okay, BFV. Yeah, you never know with these crazy NBAs. And we're ready to go in the WNBA. I'll be here. We're going to preview WNBA each day with Tony. I think I'm going to do a little show. And I think it's, preseason in the WNBA. They got it right. Preseason's over. They played 2 games, I think, each. It's done. We're ready to go. All right, there it is. Thomas says Knicks will have to slow the game down to beat Indiana. Oh well, okay. I was talking about the Nuggets and the Wolves. I said if I'm the Wolves, I want the Wolves to go faster. Don't end up in the situation they did last time, and try to get these guys out of their element a little bit. I think because yes, Minnesota has that D. All right. Let's move to hockey here. And I've got, oh, hey, Jay Stinga's here. It's good to have Jay Stinga. Wow. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jay. What is that avatar? I got to look closer. Oh, it's is it Kobe? Well, no, it looks like a Cleveland jersey, though. It's not LeBron in Cleveland, is it? It's too dark for me to see, but it looks like a tattooed basketball player with a maroon and gold jersey on. So I thought that was Cavs, actually. Oh, it is Kobe. So it's obviously, I've just got my colors wrong there. So, boy, I remember where I was when we saw that news. Okay, let's go to hockey. With the Panthers here coming in against the Bruins in this one. And, well, you got the Panthers now. Have they established the control here? Do they look the best team now with the better personnel and the higher scores now all of a sudden? You got to look at the Bruins and, we got Swayman. We got our, secret. We got our goalie situation. We could go with this guy or that guy, whatever. And they just gave up 12 goals like that. And it doesn't seem like it's going. It feels like it's shifted for Florida here. Want to give the Bruins a chance here, certainly, but and I have Florida. That's my futures ticket here in the NHL. I got a futures ticket on Florida, so I'm kind of rolling with them a little bit. And I think they might put it down here actually on Boston tonight to get up 3-1. look, Boston was tough in that victory that they got. You guys got any plays on this? Let me know. And 6-0 says no Pasternak points, no Boston win. He's the only guy. He is. It's like, and that's just it. There's not enough around Pasternak right now. Not in this postseason. Not as solid as they were just right now when you're going up against Kachuk and Reinhardt and Barkov and Montour and Verhaag and they're doing a great job, Florida, right now. And, you'd think in the East, collision course here, exciting would be Rangers and Florida. Don't count, these other teams out, but it does feel like that's what, the best the best teams would be if that's the matchup. Ziggy's on the Bruins money line, Jay Sting on the Bruins. And you got Bob. Don't forget. So I'll just roll a little bit here. If it's not hey, that's my line. Doubles. If it's not a premium, it's a lean. You know, hey, I look at every game. I'm gonna pick almost every side and total, even if it's just on a lean. Um, realistically, right? If you're landing on the if you're hey, it's too close. The line is right on. All right. And then you come back later and the lines move 20 cents without any injuries just on regular line movement because the betting has moved it. Don't you have a play? All right. Solo's going under. And Robert's going to take Boston. And Fernando says he wants to go over here in this one. I mean, it feels like Florida. If they're going to score 6, I guess it's going over. And I guess if they score 5, it's probably going over. I mean, they're going to probably shut these guys out on on their home ice. But the way they did it last time, right? It wasn't so much, it was just a very, very workmanlike, consistent effort from the Panthers here. So, all right, that works. 4-2, 5-2, Panthers to roll here in this one. I will say this at handicappers, for the most part, I think they're going to be on the under here in this game, but I don't know if they're going to be right. All right, that's it for that one. Thank you for your picks, everybody. The Cardinals are getting steamed right now today in that game against the Brewers with Mikolas going up against Wilson. So they started taking them here at $1.35 today. Cardinals right now in that game. And right now, I can tell you that the Cardinals are down here to, well, $1.26 at Circa, $1.24 at BetOnline, $1.15 at Bovada. Probably seeing some lineup information. It is Sunday, so see if we can get this out to you. But it sounds like there's going to be some regulars out of the lineup here, possibly for the Milwaukee Brewers today. Who will it be? We'll probably have that. We might have that information here before we get off the air. The way the line's moving, we'll hopefully will. But on Sunday, when you see this type of line movement, certainly that's usually what is occurring there. All right, we'll keep it going here now, and I had another adventure with poor app ordering. I mean, has the app game passed me by at 55 years old? Can I not order a food a cheap dinner properly? Someone who's been working on the oldest of Macintoshes for ever. I'm taking Florida, Jeff. Someone who's been working on Macintoshes for so long that I had a Mac SE. If you know what that is, I had a Mac 2. And I can't even get my orders right. I do. I like those ordering apps. I'll pick it up myself, but okay, here we go. Canucks and Oilers tonight in this one. And, well, look, the Oilers are a pretty big favorite here. Vancouver's done a nice job to stay in the series with that game last time. It just, to me, feels like maybe the Edmonton Oilers. Look, either way, if I'm the Canucks here, I cannot let the. You talk about not letting the team get out to the lead. If I'm Vancouver, now I know we've seen some goofy things. We've seen some of these road teams get out to leads, right? They're putting on the. Sometimes they've scored it in a big surprise, but I think Vancouver would look here to not get involved too much in any kind of. And it's still 6.5. So the way these games have been going, you would expect maybe 4-3. But if I'm Vancouver, I don't want it 4-3. I want it to be a game that doesn't have a chance to get out of reach. Now, if they can come through and keep answering with goals if they're behind, or stay ahead, or tied at least, and in a higher scoring game, then that's obviously fine. But in the get go, I don't want to be out here winging it if I'm Vancouver, thinking I need to get all fancy here in Game 3 on the road at this point, especially now, at basically, down here in this series, right? With having lost a game already. So Twisted had the Florida game here, and doubles is going premium. Jeff is going over in this one. So hey, Jeff and I were usually on the same page, but if I'm thinking I got to go under. I got to go under here. Uh, if it goes over, um, if it goes over, actually, it depends. I guess if Vancouver gets that first goal, I guess, or gets two. I know that sounds too easy, and I don't know sometimes even why why these things happen, but okay. And Edmonton, yeah, 6-0. I mean, Edmonton, yeah, they don't have that uh history here. I mean, let's be real and honest though. If you're as old as I am, you don't say it necessarily like that. I'm still thinking the Edmonton owes the rest of the league for all their all-time success, but yes, late, no doubt. But let's not discount all the. Let's not discount one of the greatest eras in the history of hockey. But we're all older now. All right, Dave Giroux's here today. What? It's great to have Dave Giroux. Wow, thank you. We're not even to the baseball yet. We got to get going here. Jeez, let's go. Edmonton regulation. Brent here. I'm going to give out. I'm going under. I'm going under. It sounds like I'm against you guys a little bit, but that's okay. But again, here's the thing: the games, we know the games in Vancouver were over games, and they were all crazy games. It was 3-0. It's 3-3. It's 4-3. It better be different here for Vancouver, or it's not going to be 4-3. It's going to be 4-0. So it better be 2-1, no worse than 2-1, or maybe 2-1, 1-0, 1-1, something manageable for Vancouver. They got to manage this. Silovs, look, it can't look. I don't know much about it. All I know is how much experience this guy has. And it's not a lot. Now, he's supposed to be a goalie that may have a future, and maybe getting thrown to the wolves a little bit early, a little bit, or above his head a little bit. But um, it was okay in one game. But it does seem like you're in the Stanley Cup playoffs now, and you got a guy with not very much experience in there. So you better help him out. You better help this guy out a little bit. Okay, so give me the under here. Hopefully, good luck to you, Mr. Silovs, in the goal in this one. And yeah, maybe for Edmonton, they look. Hockey's tricky, man. I mean, but the best teams do rise eventually. Is Edmonton that team, or will they get back to that reputation? So All right. My plays on the under. Hopefully, you got your plays in. I'm ready to go with baseball, and I want to try to get it done here in a half an hour. And Robert says, hoping McDavid lights it up here. I'm over, I'm in a pool with the gang over there at the old PBR, and yeah, everybody's got Edmonton. I'm in fourth place, but I think you got to get top three. And I was trying to analyze it. They have it's laid out beautifully, but you pick the players, and I basically need some of these. I need, quite frankly, I might need some of these teams that are losing to turn around, and maybe one of these teams to get eliminated. So might be hard. I might actually. I guess I'm rooting for Vancouver if I'm going to do it, but this just feels like Edmonton. Here, Robert said, lighten them up. Yeah, and Skinner, right? What was up with that one? I mean, just sailed right. Was it under his arm, under his glove? Just kind of watched it go through there. So those Vancouver guys, I know that hey, I know this. If I can get those Miller and Hughes, if I can get those guys to the next round, that would change my fortunes. But I'm realistic too. Maybe it was a bad strategy that I had. It's already 2:05 here. Zach Brown's got his baseball here. Let's get to baseball. Zach's giving his plays out, and we only, getting late here on a Sunday. We got 60 of you here hanging out with little old me and the chat all stars here. All right. I think I'm ready to go. I hope I'm ready to go with a bunch of winners here today. We did have some nice winners here on the show. I thought yesterday we had the we had the Braves. We had the Braves and the under. Well, I guess a no-hitter, near no-hitter is pretty good. We also had the over with the Phillies and the Marlins here on the show. We had the Brewers on the run line right here on the morning steam. And we also had the Oakland Athletics here against the Seattle Mariners yesterday on the show. We also had the over, Diamondbacks and Orioles. We had the under, Nationals and Red Sox here on the morning steam, and we also had the Colorado Rockies on the run line. Baseball winners yesterday here on the show. Give you a pick on every game. I mean, you got to hit at least 7 or 8 of them, but sometimes we hit 9 or 10 or more. All right. Let's go with the Cubs here and the Pirates to get us rolling with our coverage here in this one. And I'm going to be rolling. Let me get my notes here ready. And there we go. All right, man, I want to make sure it is Kyle Hendricks, right? Because he's coming in back in here a little bit here at $1.15 on the road against the Pirates. And, well, Pirates haven't been looking that great here of late. I'm sure the Cubs are going to get some attention here from cappers, especially with Kyle Hendricks in there. Falter has a terrible record against the Cubs. He has a 10.67 ERA in 3 career starts and 6 appearances total. 0-3 record for Falter. The Cubs 10-11 on the road, but still, Pirates have lost 19 of their last 28 games. These teams have produced some overs here, but I think Hendricks might find a lineup that he can work on a little bit here. These two teams, I think you'd think under here for the most part so far this season with these two clubs, right? You got Pirates 17-21 to the under, averaging just 3.7 runs per game. So, and that total there, 8/20, is already lower than the 8. There's some 8.5s out there, though. All right. Well, I already think I have my premiums, but I'm going to go under here with the Cubs and the Pirates. And yeah, I'm going to be rolling a few unders here, I think, today again. Hopefully, I don't bore you guys to tears. All right. And Robert saying, you got some fires out there. What is this? Is this a funny thing or is it? Hopefully, it's nothing serious, but if it is funny, I hope it's Edmonton to win as well. When I was young, Edmonton had all those great teams, and of course, I was thrilled the day that Wayne Gretzky, even though he was past his prime, was traded to the Los Angeles Kings for Martin Jelena. Do you remember? I do, because on that day, I was at Anaheim Stadium with a every summer I would go to the sportscaster camp because I wanted to be Mr. Sportscaster when I was a kid. So usually from it was like from age like uh, 15, I think 15 or 6. I think it'd be 16. But for like 4 years in a row, I went to that, and it wasn't just, it was kind of hokey in a little bit, but the speakers were incredible. So I guess it really wasn't. It cost us like $1,200, but you went there for a week and you like practice your broadcasting. I did a broadcast with Hank Gathers on an Angels game. Talk about now where it stands in my life. But so that day we were at the Angels game, and Wayne Gretzky was traded to the Anaheim. To the Los Angeles Kings in that blockbuster deal at the time. Edmonton was having their problems starting with Pocklington and all that. You know the story, Edmonton fans. But nonetheless, so I was supposed to do an interview there, your practice interview, and I was going to do it with the famous Angels pitcher who threw a no hitter, Bo Bellini or Bo. Oh God, I forget his Bo Bellini. I want to say Bo Bellini, but instead I said to Bob Miller, who was one of the speakers and one of the guys who organized the camp, the great Kings broadcaster. I said, "Hey Bob, hey, I'd like to interview you right now. Actually, instead of the famous Angels pitcher who was, probably like 30 years ago, he pitched a no hitter. I said, I'd like to interview you about this trade." And he did it. That was cool. All right, enough about me. How about you? All right, here's Cubs for we're on a Cubs game. I'm talking about this. Okay, here we go. And obviously, I never made it to sportscasting greatness. I'm just a YouTube handicapper hanging out with 60 very cool people who want to talk about sports betting. Uh, 35, 40 years later.
Final.
Okay, that's our pizza money right there. We better be getting some good pizza. Here in Las Vegas, they got a pretty good pizza. They got some good ones, but this Pizza Rock is probably really good. And if they could, we could have a sponsor. Ramon needs a sponsor. A pizza sponsor would be nice. Let's get this show moving, man. I'm getting a little crazy here, get a little delirious on a Sunday. Let's go to the Diamondbacks and the Orioles here in this one with Zach Gallen going up against Dean Kramer here. But we'll note, I think we're seeing some pressure here to the under. You got Gallen coming in with a 2.84 ERA so far. We know Zach Gallen. We know he's going to be very, very tough here coming in as always, and going up here against Baltimore today. And we saw, of course, what happened with yesterday's game as well. We had the Orioles as a premium pick winner. It wasn't easy. It took, a little bit of a back and forth game. Had some swings certainly there, but man, Arizona still just not necessarily profitable on the road. Man, kind of want to roll with the side here a little bit, but I don't know if I can just commit. I think I'm set in premiums. Baltimore's being hit right now. that little ding-a-ling-a-ling says they're being hit right now at bet 365. So, well, I like Baltimore, but I'm not going to give them out here on the show. Um, I'm not saying that I think that the spot is Arizona, because I don't feel that's the case at all. I mean, I think the spot is probably Baltimore, and I kind of wanted to come back on a premium with them today. But Zach Gallen here. Little steam coming in right now in a different game, Rangers and Colorado game under right now, and I'm pretty sure I was going to come in on the under in this one when we get to that point. So just to note, it was 11, and now it's 10.5. We've had a good week with those totals in Colorado. Sorry, you guys. A little sleep in my eye here on a big weekend. But nonetheless, we'll continue on here with the Diamondbacks and the O's. And I'm going to be forced to take the over here in this one with Gallen and Kramer. I think that's the way to play this one for me. Man, still want to consider the Orioles. Maybe I'll just end up betting them, you guys. I don't think it's a double. Maybe it is a double play for me. No, let's just give out the under here as my play. You do have Diamondbacks 15 and 22 to the under so far. Orioles allowing just 3.7 runs per game so far this season. And also Baltimore 9 and 5 to the under last 14 games. Arizona 10 and 20 to the under last 30, and Kramer 1.96 ERA last 3 starts. We know he's been good as well. A lot of comments here on this game. All right, here's doubles coming in with an under here, and Jay Stinga's got the Orioles here, and doubles wants to go under. I've got to fix the total, apparently. Maybe is what he's saying. Let me see. Cadiz over Getafe, 1-0. Cadiz wins over Getafe. All right. You knew it'd be 0-0. How's that Sassuolo game going? I have a 1-1 draw as my play. I played it 1-1. It's 1-0 at halftime. Sassuolo and Genoa. I played final score 1-0 at I think it was 4, maybe it was a 4.5 or 5-1. So let's just get a goal in the second half, Sassuolo. All right. A few more plays for you here. I don't know yet. I don't know if I can. I'm just going on the under here as my play. Under Diamondbacks and Orioles. Okay. Ziggy on the Orioles. Baltimore for Thomas. Arizona for 6-0. Yeah, this ain't a consensus for sure. No consensus. Oh, double says this thing's down to 7.5. All right. I'll just take the 7.5 everywhere. Doubles. So I'll at least fix that, and correct that one. I mean, that's a pretty big move, and I like the under. Here's some steam coming in on the over right now, and this is one, Minnesota and Toronto. What a game yesterday between those two. It's not the next game, too bad, but we're still going to talk about it in a moment. But Minnesota and Toronto are getting steam to the over right now. It was 8.5. There goes the ding-a-ling, and it's up to 9 now. It looks like here at most. It's getting up there anyway. With that move here, Minnesota and Toronto. Nope, still 8.5, mostly everywhere, but you're starting to see the juice just trick up a little bit. So if you like the over, I think you might be seeing it move here in just a little bit. I don't know if I'm probably gonna go on the side in that one. Okay, let's take a look here at the Nationals going up against the Red Sox today with Mackenzie Gore going up against Brian Bello in this one. Red Sox, big favorite here, 50 or so, and nobody wants to lay these Red Sox right now. I mean, it feels like you only can consider, it feels like Washington at this point. Yeah, it still might be hard. If you're getting your feet wet this season, you don't know what's going on, but the Nationals have been profitable, man. They continue to be kind of a team that you can kind of count on a little bit here at plus money. They're up 10, they're up a dime already this season, despite just a 500 record. Mackenzie Gore, 3.44 ERA, Bello, 3.04 ERA. So in this one, for me, I'm going to end up on another under. You got two pitchers that have gone under. Two teams, I should say, that go under quite a bit right now. Red Sox 14 and 22 to the under so far this season. And Boston under in 14 of their last 19 games. Boston has lost 6 of their last 8 games, and Nationals have won 9 of their last 14. So you see, Boston's still favored. Now, Bello's been fine, 3.58, but he is just coming back from nearly a month off for a little bit of a injury stint. So you have to consider that one as well. Mackenzie Gore has a career start against Boston where he dominated 6 scoreless innings, has struggled here of late, 6 ERA in his last 4 starts, and has 3 losses. All right, here comes maybe it's this game. Maybe it's this game, Jeff. Maybe it's the other game, Jay. I'm not sure, but maybe it's this game because it is close to 7.5, and I like the under. And what do I have it listed at? 8 again. It's probably 7.5 in this game too. Told you I like a lot of unders, and again, we're just seeing that same pressure to the under. There's just no way of if you're an overs player, this is a pretty good value time for you. They're not all coming home. Under still pretty steady, especially if you're on a lot of them early. And this one definitely is 7.5 now for the most part. So these are always, these are the danger spots that I try to at least you got to know about a little bit. Not if you still like the under, don't worry about if you want to buy it back up to get on that important number of 8. And if you're laying $1.35 or $1.40, look, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you've either missed the number. You can still go under 7, go under 6.5, get that plus money too. But nonetheless, the move is on the under. The sharp move is on the under. The books are adjusting it under. You should respect it at least. If you like the over, just say, hey, great. They're going under, gives me more room. But, all right. Under for Ziggy. And Darren says under and maybe the Nationals, I think. And let's see here. Jay says Washington. No days off. Hello, no days off. It's awesome to have no days off here. This is awesome. Almost feels like no days off is trolling me a little bit with the Chucky and the handle no days off because that's me. No days off. So maybe no days off, and I are hitting it off because we take no days off. Take the D-backs. Baltimore doesn't sweep anything. Fernando, first 5 under. Thomas says, get on those unders early. All right. I'm on the under in this one. All right, next up, we're going to roll this one here. This is the game we just talked about moments ago. Took some steam just now on the over. Yesterday's game was wild, wasn't it? I mean, it was 8-0, or it was, I don't know what. It was one. There was 18 runs scored in the game. Toronto won 10-8. I thought it was 8-0 somewhere in there, but what will happen today? Can Minnesota, overcome that choke job of a loss here a little bit against a Toronto team that hasn't been doing much, but they sure needed some kind of win like this or just something to pep them up here a little bit. Manoah got his first start, but he wasn't good. He's got a 13.5 ERA right now. Ober comes in, making his 8th start. He has a whip of 1. And, what can you say? I mean, the Blue Jays are down 6.5 units this season. I'm going to try Minnesota here again. I do believe I'm just going to have to, if they can't do it, they can't do it. But I'm going to try them here just as a free play here on the show. I'll play them. But I don't know if I'm going to go crazy with these guys right now here necessarily after seeing what I saw yesterday and the game getting out of control and the bullpens and all the runs being scored. Like it could happen again today, if you know what I mean. Could happen again today is what it feels like between Minnesota and Toronto. Even though Minnesota had those offensive woes, all of a sudden they've gone over in 9 of their last 13 games. By the way, breaking news right now. Oh, in fact, I saw it there in the chat, and I apologize, actually. I almost want to go back and uh, accentuate it and see who it was. They talked about Tabilo, and I just blow right by the comment. I didn't, because I was like, oh, what is he talking about? Who is Tabilo? And I was thinking baseball. So thank you, though. But Alejandro Tabilo has defeated Novak Djokovic. So yesterday, no Rafa. Today, no Joker. And what is going on the clay courts of Europe right now? It's a free for all. Look, we know that there's still, going to be some of the, new top studs there, the Alcarazes of the world right now on clay, but it's a real turn of the tide here, a changing of the guard. We saw Rafa basically. We talked about on the show, it hadn't happened yet. He walked off the court. They had a special ceremony planned for when he did lose. He blew it off, quite frankly, but he still went out and saw thousands of people waiting to just get a glimpse of Rafa at Rome following his loss. Here's some steam coming in right now for a game tonight. Braves and Mets. It's going over right now. The steam's coming in on the over. I did a video with Tony last night, but check it out. And then check this out. Total moving higher. Braves and Mets. We might see this one going to 8 right now. Here. In fact, it's 8 all over, 8 under 20 at this point. I might have been late on that steam. Just came across my desk, but so breaking news there, and that's going to do it. And there I'm watching it now for Mr. Tabilo, and Joker gives him a big embrace and just a great job. And there goes Joker. Now, Joker's not done, obviously, here still, but you'd have to think right now, at least here on the clay courts, where it does take us, it's a little bit still of a grind, as great as he has been, and as great as Rafa has been, the greatest. Still got to figure, well, where do we stand right now? Okay. Thanks, you guys. Let's keep going here with the show. And this one, hey, by the way, I've got the Minnesota Twins, did I tell you, with Bailey Ober in this one. Maybe we can be like those guys over there and fade Manoah a little bit in this one. I'd like to see Manoah get it back, but right now, maybe Minnesota after a little bit steamed last night. No, I mean steamed, but I mean mad. Phillies and Marlins here with Wheeler and Braxton Garrett here in this one. I did a preview with this game with Tony, and I mean, the Phillies are just dynamite, so we don't even need to preview them too much. We know they're crushing here right now, destroying, actually. And Wheeler, 0.71 ERA in his last 4 starts, 4-0 record. The Phillies have won 23 of their last 29 games for Braxton Garrett. This will be his first start of the season. He had a 3.66 ERA last year, 3.86 ERA in his career. So for the Marlins, could be that we're seeing Braxton Garrett out here as another showcase piece. Maybe the Marlins could deal. I don't know what is. I didn't really look at his numbers here, his contract anyway. But the Marlins have lost 7 of 8. in this one. I would think this one's going under. I'm going to give Garrett a chance here against even this Phillies lineup. Wheeler's gone under in 5 of his last 7 games. The Marlins have been going over big time, but I'm going to end up on the under in this one with Garrett coming back, but Wheeler really looking pretty strong right now. I like the under quite a bit. And from you guys, it's Philly on the run line here. Philly on the run line here. Double says Schwarb's going to be out today for the Phils. Ziggy's got the Phils. Fernando's on the over. And Thomas says we do have our consensus here. Twins Philly parlay for Darren. Here's Blake on the under and doubles. Going under. And I'll take this one and go with this one under with the Phillies and the Marlins. We got to cook this show here with Houston going up against Detroit in this one, and Verlander going up against Flaherty. And I can only see this one as an under here, you guys. I wanted to go premium probably in this one, but I'm going to come with it here on the show just because I'm really not necessarily sure of the side yet. I think I do know which way I want to go. Oh, where's my graphic? There we go. Verlander and Flaherty, Astros and Tigers here. I mean, we know the situation that we've been in a little bit here with the Astros, but this might be the spot that you might hitch a ride a little bit, maybe with JV here in this one. Just a 4.43 ERA so far, but JV's the type that when he gets into form, he might be ready to roll and be due here. Look, Houston should make its way back to some type of respectability. They really should. Could be here. I'm just going to take the under in this one for sure. Astros are 14-23 to the under so far this season. So I think Verlander can come in and have a good start here, make this a low-scoring game. The Astros are under in 16 of their last 22 games. So Flaherty, a 3.90 ERA in his last 5 starts. Houston's lost 5 of their last 7 games, and Detroit's lost 6 of their last 8. So these guys aren't showing any winning form at this point. The doubles is going under. Fernando's on the Tigers. Ziggy's going under. And at least Tom, at least when I screwed up that order the other night, at least I ordered the Oreo custard ice cream sandwiches and saved the day. And I had another terrible adventure last night. Oh, I already said it, right? Yeah. Okay. Here we go with the Yankees and the Rays with Gil with Gil Alexander. Okay, hey, shout out Gil. If you ever see this, Gil, shout out to you, sir, here on a gambling channel. I watched this guy Gil Alexander, but anyway, this is Yankees with Gil, and Rays here with Alexander, and in this one, you got Yankees here on the road, about $1.40 here or so for Alexander. Kind of an opener for the most part. He can work through a little bit, but 0-1 with 4.5 ERA in 4 starts. Tampa Bay's won 6 of 8. We've kind of said we think they'll get it back. They're Tampa. They're gonna, even in their seasons where they do good every year. They do have some slumps in those seasons, I think, because of who they are actually. And, when they're playing, they'll get it back. And, hey, you know what? No better team to do it against than a division team like the Yankees. Sure, the Rays have been losers so far. They're down 8.25 units. The Yankees are up nearly 5 units so far this season. Alexander Gil has a 2.92 ERA so far this season. I'm going to take the under in this one. I promised you I've got unders here, and this is going to be another one. So, but here's the thing, at least, and I may have been a little, jumping to conclusions here, and the fact that I don't know if necessarily I was going to recommend the side on the show or even as a premium, but probably was thinking about a premium here with the Yankees and the Rays, and now it's up to 8.5 at a lot of play. It's a 9 under 25. I mean, I want to almost scratch this off and make it a premium here all of a sudden. So this is what I'm talking about when I feel like it's a good play. I really like the under in this game, and now we're dealing with a 9 under 25 as a main line at some books. This is a pretty solid play to me. I like the under, and probably would have used it. The way I play on the show, I you know kind of look at my plays. Yeah, I mean, have I made some adjustments on the fly? And I'm like, I'm going to make this a premium, or yeah, but not today. Not today. Let me give it out here. I want to go under here, and let's get some winners on the show. And hey, check out my premiums, please. Maybe pick up a package with me, and we'll try to win together. And you'll support me. And I, like I said in my latest funny, if you do buy my premium pick package today over at Tony'sPicks.com, I promise to come back and do the show here again tomorrow. All right. The Cardinals taking on the Brewers here with Nicholas going up against Wilson in this one. And boy, the Brewers kind of taking care of business here against their old rivals, right? The way we talked about it, not old rivals, they're still rivals. I mean, hey, everybody knows, right? Uh, Jeff knows here. It's basically Bush against Miller here, right? Or Bud. I'm sorry, Bud against Miller. Bud against Miller. Is that right? Yeah, Bud against Miller. Budweiser against Miller here. So it's a rivalry. It's a big time rivalry. And we did talk about that steam that came rolling in. Nicholas has a 5.68 ERA. I'm going over in this game with St. Louis and Milwaukee. I'm not sure St. Louis can do very much against them right now. It is Major League Baseball. Obviously, they probably have 40% chance or maybe less of winning this game, but probably somewhere around there. But still, does feel like the Cardinals, man. This is last. We kind of want to say maybe last year was a fluke, right? Or maybe they weren't. Maybe it was just a 1 year thing, but really it's starting to drag on here a little bit. They're down 12.5 units so far this season, and the Brewers are up 9 2/3 units. Nicholas has a 6.4 ERA, and Wilson a 2.4 ERAs. Look good. He's gone under in all four of his starts, by the way, but I'm going to take the over as my play here. I gotta think the Brewers might be able to put up some runs here in this one. Did I miss your guys' plays on the other game? I'm sorry if I did. See here, yeah, the Yankee. God, you guys, I'm sorry. I got so carried away here. Oh, oh well. I want you guys to see these. On those, okay, doubles. Ziggy here, Brewers, and Fernando's gonna buy some picks. Fernando, you're the man. All right. Blay, we already went over to Tony'sPicks.com. Jeff Brewers again. Just keep rolling with these guys. And I think that's it for the plays here on this one. And I'm going to take the over here with the Cardinals and the Brewers, the Guardians, and the future World Series. The White Sox are they've won the first 3 games of this series. It's been awesome. They found somebody they can beat. We're going to take them with Soroka here. Of course we are going to take the White Sox. Hey, if we're late to the party, so be it. But they've gotten all this, all this success here this week. Look, the White Sox are 1-7 with Soroka, and not only that, check out my video here on this game. Look, these division games are long time under games, but these pitchers have been going over all season. So see what I had to say about it. But here on the show, I'm just taking the White Sox again. They've won the first 3 games. You have 2 pitchers who are, not pitching very well. Both guys have an ERA close to 6.5, and both have a 1.5 WHIP. I mean, it's almost across the board. Soroka's numbers are a little bit better. He has a much lower BABIP than Logan Allen, and a better batting average allowed than Logan Allen. So just problem with the White Sox is averaging just 3 runs a game, and against teams that average less than 3.9 runs per game. The White Sox, I believe, are 4-21 to the under, and 4-17, 4 out of 21, I think is what it said. Or was that oh boy, that might have been Cleveland's numbers. Actually, I screwed that one up last night too. Gosh darn it! I have impeccable penmanship, I tell you, but I cannot read what I wrote right there. So, anyways, I'll just take the White Sox. Forget what I said about the total. Well, don't forget everything I said. Some of the information was very valid and correct, but what I said is true about the pitchers. These pitchers go over big time, but this series is, Guardians White Sox, man, it's like a 70% under for like the last 5 years when these 2 teams meet. So you decide. Thomas says Cleveland has trouble with them. Cleveland can't compete against the White Sox, and I can't trust them as a contender to win it all. Right? I mean, I was saying, wow, let's jump on Cleveland, man. Look at these guys. And getting such a big price there several weeks ago, 40-1. I'm going to take them. Well, I did, but this has been kind of awkward for sure. They don't look like, that all that. The Central looks fun, at least. All right, we got to keep going. We want to finish this show. Thank you for joining me here today on the Morning Steam with the next matchup here with the Texas Rangers going up against the Colorado Rockies. We announced it. The steam that came in on the under here in this one. Oh, where's the graphic? Oh, come on, Ramon. Here we go with the Rangers and the Rockies with Urena and Ty Block here in this one. And it says 11 under, but it's probably about 10 over already by now. No, there's still 11 under 25, but 10.5 over 20. It's definitely moving under. I think we've hit them. No, I don't want to go back and research it. And I'm not one to keep. They always say, and hats off to one of my favorite guys, the transparent. Hey, we do have transparency. Everything is recorded and archived apparently on YouTube. So we are transparent, but I'm not keeping records necessarily of the video picks. You know what I mean? But I think we've hit all these this week with these Rockies home games, and we're going to take the under here in this one with Urena and Block. In this one's already been hit by the Sharps, and I figure it's probably going to go under here as well with these 2 pitchers. Not necessarily because of these pitchers, but maybe just the situation and conditions today between these 2 teams. You have, these 2 teams will be piecing it together a little bit in the bullpen, but Colorado has been, let's see here. Both these teams are trending slightly to the under, of late, mostly over, but again, this is more market related for me. I don't know if I even have very good numbers here with these 2 pitchers in this spot, but Jeff's saying he's showing at a 10.5. So nonetheless, I'm just going to take the under here in this one. I'm not sure about the side, quite frankly. And while I've been more confident on those Rockies games the other days, I do like this one quite a bit. Under, but the numbers don't necessarily indicate that is the case. Okay, I want to get this going here with the Reds and the Giants. We got Frankie Montas for the Reds. We got Kyle Harrison here for the Giants. $1.25, 7.5 over 25 in this one. Boy, the action's fast and furious here on the morning steam. Some of these numbers are just getting pounded, so I better just go one step at a time here with this one. Reds and Giants. Giants $1. Okay, the Giants are up to about $1.33, $1.36 at Bovada right now. The Giants are on the move here a little bit as we speak, and I'm not sure on the side necessarily. Handicappers, I think, are going to prefer the Reds here again, and I'm not sure on the side. I'm just going to end up, I'm pretty sure, on the total again. Let me give a little preview of the game at least. See if I can't talk myself into something a little bit more here with Montas. He has a 7.9 ERA in his last 4 starts and a 4.19 ERA overall for Harrison. 2.03 ERA in his last 5 starts. It's pretty good, considering he has a 3.79 ERA so far this season. The Giants have gone under in 5 of Harrison's 6 starts. Reds have gone under in 16 of their last 23. Giants have gone under in 8 of their last 9 games. You see, I'm pretty sure I got the under. Yeah, we're on the under. I just, I'm looking for something other than an under here, but I don't know. It does feel like a day we might want to go grand salami. Probably get some pitcher scratch, but I do like a lot of unders here on a Sunday. You know what that means? On getaway day. See if we got any more plays here from you guys. I might be feeling a little bit square here. Royals and Angels, guys. In this one, you got Lugo here on the road going up against Sandoval for the Angels. I'm contrarian here. Look, I love everything about the Royals so far. Lugo's been hot. I know. And the Royals, they're up 6 1/3 units this season. The Angels are down 7 3/4 units. I'm going to take the dog here. I think I'm going to take it on the run line. I know it's probably a pretty bad price, but I've got the Angels maybe in an okay spot. I know they're really hard to pull the trigger on these guys right now. Oh gosh, plus 1.5, minus 160. I'll take them on the money line then as my play here on the show with Sandoval. So far they're 6-2 to the over with Sandoval. He has a 4.85 ERA. Numbers aren't great, but I've just got possible. We'll see what the Royals lineup looks like out there today, but if it ends up being a low-scoring game and at this price, I'm just going to end up on the dog here. We'll see who the Royals end up sitting. I mean, they've been, just splendid, obviously. And you don't necessarily want to get off these guys, and I'm not going to go premium on the Angels. I'm just going to take the Angels today, though. Lugo's been hot, but Sandoval's been good, too, of late. And Royals have won 4 out of the last 6. And I'm sure they'll be very popular today. I can't say that they're not going to be. Fernando's on the under. He's also he's on the under first 5. Doubles is on the under. Ziggy said he's on the Royals here on the money line. All right, we still got 70 of you in here and not many picks, but that's okay. I'll just roll my picks along, and we're almost done with the show with the Dodgers going up against my Padres in this one. And in this one, I'll probably just I'm going to roll with an under here with Buehler now here pitching for the Dodgers today. So good to see Buehler. There we go. Pardon me. Good to see Buehler here. Wasn't great in his first start, but I'm not worried. I figure he'll return to form. Uh, Darvish here for the Padres probably be pretty tough too, but man, Bueller owns the Padres. I'll tell you that. Uh, Darvish usually does well against against the Dodgers, but he's usually matched up against another good pitcher. Bueller has a 2.45 career ERA, but a 4-5 record. Meanwhile, Bueller is 6-0 in his career against the Padres. I'm going to take the under in this one. It's probably I have 8.5 there, but uh, you can see why it's not a premium. It's down to 7.5. Um, it is juiced to the over, but wow, I mean, where was I? Where was I last night? I should have been. Here's the thing: I don't want to put a premium. Um, I want to get it out to subscribers as soon as I can, and if we can, get a good total out to them and get it early, but we don't want to give out stale lines either. So yeah, I just go with when we see it, when we do it. This is a definite under. It was as high as 8.5, no doubt about it. With these guys, I never had a shot at 8.5, so I'm not going to consider it. But there's 820 at Circa. And I got to go under right now with Bueller and Darvish here in this one. Ziggy on the Dodgers here. And all right, you guys might be running out of gas faster than I am. Let's get it over with here. Athletics coming in here with Wood. Well, we got lucky with a premium winner for once. We got hooked by a couple of games, but did get a bunch of runs late, and the game went over whatever we had for a premium. So hey, once in a while we get lucky, and that worked out for us. The way the A's are playing doesn't feel like luck at this point. I'm willing to take the A's on the run line here for sure. Uh, could take them on the money line as well, but let's just make sure. Let's try to book a win here with Wood going up against Castillo. We know Castillo right now, not quite. Castillo, maybe he never will be Castillo. Now, last 4 starts, pretty solid actually, 1.69 ERA. And Wood, numbers starting to get pretty good here, 1.72 over his last 3 starts, under in 3 straight. A's have lost 5 of 7, but they look good here in this series, and I'm going to take them here in this one against Seattle. I really want to come in possibly with a premium on the total, but we'll see what the lineups are and if I have time to get it up there, and we'll see. I think we're already booked in the premiums, maybe. Just give me Oakland here in this one. Castillo's gone under in 7 of 8, but the A's have gone over in 7 of their last 8. Ziggy goes under. Fernando going over first 5 here. Blake going on Oakland run line. Jeff is on the under. A few more games here now, and we'll get you on out of here. And here is the last baseball game. It's Sunday Night Baseball. I previewed it with Tony last night. Go check it out. The Braves and the Mets should be pretty good. Last night, the Mets had no hits until there were 2 outs in the 9th inning. Now the Braves were on their 3rd pitcher, so no big deal as far as everybody says, oh, everybody gets all excited when the team no hitter. No, they really don't. They just say no hitter, team no hitter. Whoopee. The players don't jump around. The fans, they give it a little cheer. And then if you're Mets fans, you're embarrassed. But they got to run. They got to hit. They got to run. And I figure tonight probably going to be, check out my video. I'll give you a gist of it. Like I said, the steam just came in on the over a little while ago. I guess the Mets are going to turn around tonight. We got some real quick. Let me get just some guys sitting out here. Cubs and Pirates today. Pirates have Michael Taylor out. Edward Olivares out. Brian Hayes will be out for the Pirates today. And Minnesota and Toronto, we got the inactives today, the sit-outs here. Minnesota's resting quite a few players today. We recommended them, but here you go. Just coming out right now here with Miranda out, Margot out, Jeffers out, Farmer out, and Buxton out today for the Twins. For the Blue Jays, sitting out today will be Justin Turner, Kevin Kiermaier, Danny Jansen, and Kevin Biggio. Guys sitting out today. So get you any more if they come across. We're almost done though here with Braves and Mets, and in this one, so I gave out the preview with Tony in this one earlier, so check it out here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. But for me, I'm going to give a long look at the Mets to actually come back here in this one and grab a win here against the Braves. I just think with Severino, this might be the right spot for him. I'm going to take him at home here in this one. Braves have been great. We know that. Mets have been struggling. I've got this spot as the Mets spot. Bryce Elder does have a 5.28 ERA for Atlanta so far. Look, still going to have great pitching behind him and everything, but Severino, 2.92 ERA. The veteran here can have very good stuff on a moment's notice. We know that. He also can be bad on a moment's notice, but hopefully I get good Severino here tonight on Sunday Night Baseball, and I'll grab them. Mets have lost 12 of 18. Braves have won 4 straight. It's all the news there, but we'll say this, that Elder 2 career starts against the Mets, 5.27 ERA. Severino, pretty good against the Atlanta Braves, 2.7 ERA in 2 starts. Mets have gone under in 7 of their last 9. Braves under in 15 of their last 16 games. Braves under. Okay, that's it. Let's get your plays on that one. We'll get you out of here. And Double says this is where the Braves will show up. Jeff's everybody's on the Braves with me. Fernando and me hanging out together, of course. Ziggy's on with us also. All right, fun. We had so much fun, didn't we? Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here today on the Morning Steam. We're back tomorrow and do it again. Another week of sports betting action. Hey, how about the Panthers and the Defenders in this one? Hey, I joined DJ Big Boss yesterday in this game talking about it, but I think we could talk about it here, preview the game with Big Boss, and we had the Michigan Panthers as our pick here in this one against the DC Defenders, and in fact they are now getting 2 or 2.5, and we recommended them, I think, at a pick 'em, so getting a little bit of bonus here a little bit, we'll see. And in the other game today, in the UFL, it is the Brahmas and the Roughnecks, and we recommended the under in this one. It's down to 38 right now. And that was my pick. I don't think I have anything on the side. I just went under in the UFL games. All right, Jeff, I went in the Braves game. I went with the Mets. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow. More morning steam. Go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check out my 7-pack of games. It will get you 4 baseball games, 2 NBA games, 1 NHL game. It's $30. There's a 20% discount if you use the promo code Tony T. You'll get 7 recommendations from me with write-ups, and it's profit guaranteed. If I don't win, you'll get credits back to your account, but this also supports me here on the channel, keeps me coming back, and appreciate everyone yesterday. We did sweep that UFC card, had several of you buy that one, so we got it done there. Also with King of the Knockout, Derek Lewis. So we had some winners here yesterday. Join us tomorrow here on the show. We'll do it again on the morning steam. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.